Hi guys, it's Rebecca. Today we're going to work on our crown chakra. So that's the seventh chakra at the top of your head. You might be hearing some chimes and some sounds in the background. So today I'm infusing our class with some biomedical feedback. And the biomedical feedback fields that I've chosen have to do with your chakras, especially the seventh chakra, and also for your immune system. And I'm specifically targeting the lungs and the respiratory system because of what's going on with COVID. So these vibrations are going to be playing in the background. I'm also going to put music over the top of it. And so these vibrations help align your body and help align the energy of your body to sort of help protect yourself and get yourself in order and feel more balanced. So we're gonna experiment with that a little bit. I've been working with a little bit of biomedical feedback for a little while now, and I find it to be really helpful. So I hope it helps you too. So for the crown chakra today, there's not a lot of poses that are associated with the crown chakra. It's mostly about your connectivity to that which is outside of you. And so some people see that as their connection to their creator, however they like to term that. Some people see it as their connection to nature. Some people see it as their connection to all things. I see, for me, it's the connection to all of those things. And I think right now, since we're separate, we have to realize that we're not alone, that our energy is still connecting and commingling with everybody. And I think now more than ever, it's really important to connect that energy and to make sure that people are feeling well and okay and not alone, because you're not. We're all right here doing this practice together. So one of the poses that we are going to do for the seventh chakra is a headstand. If you know how to do headstands, please feel free to do it on your own. I'm going to teach it up against a wall for folks that have maybe never done a headstand before. And if you don't feel comfortable doing a headstand, that's okay. What is the significance of a headstand with the seventh chakra? It just sort of turns your world upside down. And it's to do that on purpose. And I know that we've all been turned upside down enough already, but maybe we need to do it again. Maybe we need to just flip this again. And instead of being scared and living in fear, I think we just need to flip it and find our strength and find our wellness and find our resilience. So today we're going to go upside down. And also it helps with the circulation. It helps alleviate stress on the back. It helps bring blood to the internal organs. So it's a good thing, and it's kind of fun. So again, but if you're not comfortable with it, you don't have to do it, and just take this class as it comes. Okay, so let's find our mats. I'm going to get some music going as well. So bear with me. All right. I did this class yesterday to no avail. I didn't record. So this is my second chance to make it even better. So I'm pretty excited about that. And so, you know, here we go. Here's a nice. Okay, so here's that music. All right, friends, let's find our mats. Comfortable position. You can be cross-legged, you can go into your lotus or your half lotus, or if you want, you can bring your legs forward if that's more comfortable for you. In order to reach through the crown chakra, we also have to ground down through our first chakra, which is located at the base of our spine. So we're going to find our sits bones, move those glutes out of the way, and grounding down as we exhale. Feeling those roots connecting down through our sits bones, through our mats, through our floors, right down into the earth. And as we inhale, feel that energy traveling up our spine and blossoming out the crown of our head, sort of like a lotus. Feeling that energy going beyond crown of our head into the universe. Exhaling down into the earth. Inhaling up into the sky. Gently open those eyes, giving it a nice soft gaze. If you prefer to keep your eyes closed, that's fine too. We're just going to reach one arm up and bend. Inhaling as we're reaching, exhaling as we're transitioning. Let's take that reach across. Let's put those two together. And no matter which way the body bends, you still have that connection down through the first chakra and that freedom through the second chakra. So the wind may blow you, but you're still steady in your intention and in your body. Well, let's come back to center. Hands on top of our knees. Let's round our spine, exhaling. Inhaling, bringing that heart center forward. Exhaling. Inhaling. Good. Let's take that roundedness into one side. Exhaling. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling to the other side. Coming back to center. Good. Let's take our rotation through the low back, exhaling all the way forward. Inhaling as we come back up over that tailbone. Exhaling. And inhaling. Good, and as we come up over the tailbone, let's go in the opposite direction when we're ready. Good, we're we're strengthening our lungs today, taking in deep breaths, bringing in that oxygen, releasing that CO2, keeping our lung function nice and healthy. Gently coming up over that tailbone. Inhaling our arms up, reaching through the crown center forward, staying grounded through the sits bones, keeping a nice long spine. It can't be straight, right? Because we have a natural S curve to our spine, so just a long spine. Good, and now really just sink into that stretch a little bit, bringing the breath so deeply into the body that you're feeling the back of the body rising and falling with the breath. Hands back to body. Inhaling the arms all the way up. Bringing your fingertips behind you. Good. Squeezing shoulder blades together, opening up through that heart center. Breathing so deeply into the lungs, feeling the chest rising and falling with the breath. Good, on our next exhale, release right back over that tailbone. Notice and see which leg is in front if your legs are crossed. You're going to take the opposite hand across. We're going to stroke back with that free hand. Sitting up nice and tall in the spine, feeling the energy reaching out from the crown of the head. Now we're going to turn and look over that back shoulder. Continue to inhale from your first chakra, from the earth, all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhaling back down from the crown of the head to your sits bones. Deep breaths. Good, and gently coming back to center. If your legs are crossed or you're in lotus, go ahead and switch that. If your legs are straight forward, just go ahead and leave them there. Good. Okay, find those sits bones. Beautiful. Okay, let's exhale as we come forward. Inhaling as we come up. Once we're above that tailbone, we'll take our circle in the other direction when we're ready. Gently coming back up over that tailbone. Inhaling those arms up. Exhaling, reaching forward through the crown of the head, pressing down through the sits bones, extended back, breathing up and down the spine. Feeling the back body rising and falling with the breath. Let's bring those hands back to the body. Inhaling those arms all the way up. Bringing them behind, fingertips on the floor, squeezing shoulder blades together, lifting that heart center up towards the ceiling. Feeling the chest rising and falling with the breath. On our next exhale, releasing that. Good. Looking to see which leg is in front. Bringing your arm across. Good. Back stroking back. Sitting up nice and tall. Grounding down to the first chakra. Lifting up through the seventh. Inhaling up towards the sky. Exhaling down to the earth. Our shoulders are relaxed. Coming back to center. Good. Let's roll our shoulders, inhaling and exhaling. And sliding those shoulders down. Let's come forward onto our hands and knees. Again, working with the first chakra and the seventh, all the way up and down the spine. Tilting the tailbone, inhaling, softening the front body, reaching up through the sky with that seventh chakra. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone, rounding through the chakras, through the spine, releasing any stress or tension through the seventh chakra to the earth. Inhaling, exhaling. Follow your breath. On your next exhale, gently come into a nice neutral spine. Okay, we're going to do a hair pose, which activates that seventh chakra. And go ahead and, if you've never done it before, watch first so that you're being really careful on your neck and your head. We want to always be very, very safe here. So bringing your forehead down towards the floor. The weight of your body is in your arms and your shoulders right here. You're going to bring the forehead down, and we're going to go to the spot where your hair and your forehead merge, and you're going to place that spot on the mat. Good. We're going to roll gently forward to the crown chakra and gently back to the forehead. Being very careful on the neck. Good. This is good for activating that seventh chakra. It's also good if you have headaches. It's good if you feel stuck. If you just need a change of perspective. If you feel like you're not connecting to the energy around you. This is a good thing to do. Doing this a couple more times. And when you're finished, you can rest in the pose of the child. sitting back, maybe spreading those knees a little bit if you need a little bit of space for your chest. Good. And if you like, you can bring your forehead all the way down to the floor, or you can stack 1 or 2 fists, bringing that 6th chakra, that third eye, into play, and gently resting. Okay, let's gently bring our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Let's tuck those balls of our feet underneath the body. We're going to roll back, pressing those heels down towards the floor, getting a nice stretch on those calf muscles. Good. Now we're going to bring those hips up. We're going to bring that first chakra up towards the ceiling. Good. Bringing those heels down as comfortably as we can. If you need to keep those knees bent, that's okay. No worries. Good. We're going to release that 7th chakra down towards the earth and bring that first chakra up towards the sky. So we're flipping it. So if you don't like headstand and you feel like you need to flip it, just go into a forward fold. It does the same thing mostly. And it relieves the back, it relieves the spine, it relieves the space in between the vertebrae. It releases the head, neck, and shoulders. Good. From here, we're going to slide those fingertips up our shins, extend through our spine. Feel that energy through the crown of the head, down through the tailbone. Breathing. The shoulders are relaxed and contracted away from the ears. Good. Now let's sit into our easy chair with our hands on top of our thighs. Good. From here, we're going to round the spine. Tuck the tailbone underneath. Bring the chin towards the chest. And then open. Exhaling. And inhaling. Good. Let's round all the way up through all the energy centers, all the chakras, all the way up into our Tadasana. Let's roll those shoulders a few times up, back, and down. Knees are nice and soft. Good. Oh, that feels so good. Oh. I hope this feels good to you too. I feel like I'm just shrugging off a layer of stress. I'm just taking it off. Oh, that feels good. And release it down. Okay. Let's bring those legs apart. We're going to warm up the body just a little bit. Bring those toes slightly out to the sides. The toes might be facing the corners of your mat a little bit. We're going to inhale those arms up. We're going to exhale, bring those fingertips down towards the floor. Good. Now the bottom is going back, okay? Not the knees forward. That hurts the knees. So we're going to inhale, bring those hips, those booties back. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Now, depending on how you feel, follow that breath. You might start to be feeling pretty energetic here. If you aren't and you just want to take your time, that's okay. Just follow your breath. Good. The next time we come up, let's leave those arms up into a nice 5-point star. Good. We're going to retract those shoulder blades down towards each other, elbows in towards the rib cage. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to start to do some work on the shoulders and the arms in preparation for the headstand. Good. Let's leave those arms up. Toes come forward. Let's bring those hands behind, going into a nice chest expansion. The tailbone is not flaring back. It's pointing down towards the earth, opening up through the heart center, softening the heart, the throat, the forehead, and the crown of the head. Breathing deeply into your chest. If you have audible exhales, let them out. Good. Now let's hinge forward at the waist, coming into a forward fold with that chest expansion. Release. Knees are nice and soft. Good. Bend those knees, slowly come back up as you extend the legs. Ooh, okay. Let's bring those arms forward, round the spine. Good. Tuck the tailbone underneath. Release the shoulders down. Good. Let's bring one shoulder down towards the floor, stretching through side bodies. Exhaling, inhaling. Good. Inhaling those arms all the way up. Let's come into a nice tricep stretch. Again, that tailbone points down. If you're happy here, I want you to stay right here. Otherwise, you can come into your cow face arms, lifting that heart center slightly up towards the sky. Creating as much space from the crown of the head to the tailbone as you can. Good. Let's release that. Take that top arm, bring it across. Look over that shoulder. Drop that shoulder down. Good. If you're happy here, I want you to stay right here. Otherwise, you're going to nest your top elbow into the nook of your bottom elbow. Bend those elbows. Take that top hand around. Lift the elbows up. Press the shoulder blades away from each other. Feel that stretch along the sides of your neck and the tops of your shoulders. Knees are soft. You don't want to lock them out and pass out. That's not a good thing. Breathe. Let's gently release that. We're going to bring the elbows and the wrists back, open. Then you're going to bring the shoulders, elbow, wrists forward. Exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time. Bring those hands back down to your sides. Lift the other arm up. Drop those fingertips in between shoulder blades. Good. Maybe go into a nice tricep stretch. If you want to, you can go into your cow face arms, internally rotating, bringing those fingertips towards each other. You can grab fingertips or hold onto your shirt, whatever works best. Keep those knees nice and soft, opening up the heart center towards the sky. release. Take that arm across the body. Look over that shoulder. If you're happy here, stay here. Otherwise, nestle your elbows in towards one another. Bring that top one around, high five it. Lift those elbows, spread those shoulders apart. Feeling the stretch along the neck and the shoulders, breathing so deeply. On our next exhale, let's release that. Good. Bring those shoulders, elbows, wrists back. Shoulders, elbows, wrists forward. Inhaling. Exhaling. Bring those hands back down to your sides. Good. Let's spread those feet just a little bit wider. Bending one leg, extending through the other, stretching the inseam of that leg. Good. And breathe. Good. Other side. Okay, let's do that on the other side. Let's add a twist, looking over that shoulder. And when you're ready, switching to the other side. Keep breathing. Good. Coming to the other side again. This time, if you want to, you can try to take that top hand, bring the fingertips into your hip crease. Good. Maybe take the other hand and go for a bind. Ooh. Release that. Go to the other side. Extend. Twisting. Sink those hips. Maybe take those fingertips into the opposite hip crease. If that works, stay right here. Otherwise, you can maybe take those hands underneath. I've got to shift a little bit. Oops. There we go. Found it. Keep that shoulder back. Woo. Good. Let's release that. Come forward. Forward fold. If you want to, you can continue to heel toe out into a standing straddle split. And we're going to go into arms that are prepped for a headstand. Now, this is actually a pose that you can go into a headstand from, but it's a much more advanced position to go into a headstand from. We're not going to do that today. But just so you know, if you come down on your forearms and release down towards the floor. If you can't get on your forearms and you're right here, that's great. Stay right here. This is a really good place to be. Now, what are we doing with that seventh chakra? We're extending forward through the crown of the head, pressing back through the tailbone. Wherever your head is, we're still connecting those 2 points. Good. Feeling the energy moving up and down. All right, let's bring those hands down. Let's heel toe, until we're all the way into a forward fold. Whew. Good. Release that crown of the head down. Tailbone points up towards the sky. Let's bend those knees, place our hands on tops of our thighs. Good, and slowly roll all the way up. Let's roll those shoulders up, back and down a few times. Knees are nice and soft. Inhaling, and exhaling. Good. Okay, let's come to the top of our mats. Finding that Tadasana. Tailbone is grounding down, crown of the head is lifting up. Feeling that energy coming up through the soles of the feet, through the interior of the body. Feeling that energy from the earth sprouting out the crown of our head and then trickling down the outside of our body, coming back up through the center and then trickling down. Good. Feeling that exchange of energy as we breathe, inhaling and exhaling. So we neither feel too frenetic or floaty or flighty, but we also don't feel too heavy, too grounded. We feel nice and balanced in between the two. Good. Let's circle sweep the arms all the way up. Exhaling into our forward fold. Let's bring our right foot back into a crescent lunge. Remember, you can always do your crescent lunge from your knee, okay? Otherwise, extend back through the heel, inhaling arms all the way up. We're gonna interlace those fingers with the pointer fingers up. Good. Pushing forward through the hip flexors a little bit, opening up through the heart center. Try not to dump into your low back. Keep it lifted and open. Good. We're gonna come into our warrior two here. Good. Sinking the tailbone down. Let's bring the forearm on top of that thigh, inhaling, and bringing it into reverse warrior, exhaling. Follow your breath. Beautiful. Let's take it into extended angle. And if you're happy here, I want you to stay here. Otherwise, bring fingertips towards the floor. Keep that heart center open. Maybe bring your fingertips to your hip crease. Maybe not. Maybe go into that bind. Maybe not. Opening up through the shoulders. Opening up through the heart center. Good. Let's bring those bodies back into our lunge, okay? We're gonna bring our right knee down. We're gonna heel toe that opposite foot over towards the opposite hip. We're gonna bring that shin down. We're gonna sit right here in our Raja Pigeon, opening up through the hip. If this does not feel good on your knee, go ahead and take this into a seated pigeon, okay? That's a little more gentle. Good. Puffing up through that heart center. Good. If you care to, you can come down onto your forearms. Continue to extend through the crown of the head and the tailbone, feeling that energy exchanging back and forth as you breathe. Try not to round it and bunch it up like a little kink in a hose. Good. If you want to, you can extend all the way through the spine, bringing the forehead to the floor if you want. Good. Let's walk it back up. And if you want to, you can bend that back knee. You can leave it right here, or you can reach back. Good. Coming into a quadricep stretch. Pressing down through the tailbone, reaching up through the crown of the head. Good. If you want to bind it, you can. You don't have to. Good. Let's gently release that. Okay? Let's come into our down dog. This is a great one for the 7th chakra. Let every stressor come out through the crown of your head like you're pouring water out of a pitcher. Good. Let's bring those heels down towards the earth. Lift those hips up towards the sky. And plant those hands into the earth. Good. When we're ready, we can come into our plank. Now remember, you can come into your plank from one knee, 2 knees, or lift both knees up. We're going to feel the energy coming up through the palms of our hands, through our arms, into our shoulders, and then back down again from the shoulders to the arms, to the palms of the hand. Feeling nice and buoyant as though we're floating rather than pushing up. We're floating. Good. Feel the exchange of energy from the crown of the head to the tailbone as we breathe. Good. If your knees aren't down, let's bring them down. And let's bring those bodies all the way down. Elbows are clinging to those rib cages. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Let's squeeze those glutes. Push those hips firmly into the mat. Coming up into our cobra. If this is as far as you go, that's okay. Be very careful of that low back. Good. Only go as far as it feels comfortable. Shoulders are retracted. We're breathing. I have a lot of audible exhales in me today. Oh, let it go. Okay, one little vertebra at a time. We're going to come right back down. Okay, let's lift those hips up towards the sky. Coming back into our down dog. Good. Okay, let's bring those feet together, and then we're going to extend the right leg up. From here, we're going to bend the right knee. Okay, we're going to look forward at our fingertips, bringing the sole of this foot towards the back of the head. And we're going to look back down at the feet, and then float that right foot forward into a lunge. And you're going to either bring your knee down into that lunge, or you're going to extend it out, okay? When we're ready, we're going to bind those hands together, pointer fingers are together. Inhale all the way up towards the ceiling, press down through the perineum, back through the heel, up through the heart. Fill this pose up with your entirety. Good, let's move into our warrior 2 when we're ready. Tailbone's pointing down, crown of the head is pointing up. Exhaling as we exchange, inhaling as we reach. I told you I have a lot of audible exhales in me today. Good. Now, let's come into our extended ankle. If we're happy right here, we're going to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to bring our fingertips down, keep those hearts open. If we want to, we can take those fingers, bring them into our hip flexor, or hip crease. Good. And then if you want, you can take that other hand underneath. Good. Into that bind. Keep pressing through the crown of the head and the tailbone. Keep that extension. Feeling that energy traveling up and down the spine. It's impossible to work on the crown chakra without working on all the chakras, but especially the first chakra, and vice versa. They need each other. Okay, let's release that. Bring our hands on either side of that front foot. We're going to bring that back foot in alignment and bring the knee down. Okay, we're going to heel toe the right foot towards our left hip, bringing the shin down. Again, if this doesn't feel good to your knees, I'm going to have you come right here and stay here as long as it feels comfortable, because we're looking for that stretch. I ought to get back in. Okay, so right here we're going to go into that Raja Pigeon, opening up through that heart center, pressing down through the tailbone, reaching up through the crown of the head. Good. Continuing that exchange of energy through the first and seventh chakras. You can come down onto the forearms if that works for you. Good. Continuing to extend. Good. And maybe come down all the way, as long as you're not rounding. And maybe bring the forehead to the floor. Slowly come back up. If you feel comfortable bending that back knee, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to, you can reach back into a quadricep stretch. If you want to go into the bind, you can. Good, gently pressing those hips forward. Good, let's gently release that. We're going to gently come back into our down dog. Whew. Good, if you want to, you can shake it out a little bit. You can bicycle those heels. You can come into a static down dog, whatever works best for you. Good. And we're going to walk those feet forward to those hands into a forward fold. We're going to bring those fingertips up the shins, back into our monkey, extending through that spine. Sitting back into our chair. Good, chest is lifted. Inhaling, arms all the way up. And let's exhale, bringing those hands behind. Chest expansion, tailbones pointing down. Crown of the head is lifting up, breathing into the heart. The heart chakra is where the first and seventh chakras meet. That's where the balance really happens. And we'll exhale. Good. Let's roll those shoulders a few times. Okay, while you're rolling your shoulders, I'm going to move the camera so that we can do a headstand. So we're, not my best angle, we're going to the floor. Okay, so you're going to find yourself at a wall. Okay, and we're going to move into dolphin pose. I'm going to show you how to do that real fast. We're going to bring the knuckles to the wall, and we're going to hold the opposite elbow with the opposite hand, okay? Then we're going to bring those knuckles forward. So we know that that's a good position, okay? We're going to tuck our back toes, and we're going to lift our hips. I'm going to tuck my shirt in real quick. Good. Make sure I'm in alignment. Okay. And we're going to lift those hips up towards the sky. Good. This is dolphin pose, and it's always a great opportunity to do this instead of down dog, especially if you're taking care of your wrists, okay? Good. So you can see that my head is not touching the floor. You never want your head to ever touch the floor in a headstand, Okay, so just make sure that you've got plenty of space right here. You're going to walk those feet as close as you can get, as forward as you can get, and then kick up towards the ceiling. So you'll see that it's the strength of my arms and shoulders that's lifting me up. So my head is still not connected or touching at all. Good. You're going to lift up through your perineum and release down through the crown of the head. And you're going to hold that for however long it's possible. You're going to come down nice and gently and immediately go into the pose of the child for at least 3 yoga breaths, okay? So make sure that you're breathing and you're recovering before you try it again, okay? So you can do this several times against the wall. Just always be really safe. Never, ever put any pressure on your neck. And if you don't care for this, that's okay. You can always go into forward fold, right? That's another good option. So I'm going to try it one more time. I'm going to make sure that my alignment is good. I'm going to bring my knuckles forward. Good. I'm going to come up into my down dog. Oh, not my down dog, my dolphin. Lock my feet forward, bringing myself into alignment, slowly kicking up. Good. And then I can play with taking my feet off the wall if I want to, for however long. Good. Woo. And when we're ready, we can come down. And breathe. If you want to, you can pause this video and just keep practicing here for a while. And then come back and press play and finish up the class. Okay, but for now we're gonna go back to our mats. So I'm gonna get you off the ground. All right, here we go. Good. Back to our mats. So it's a little, it feels a little different when you go upside down. So I feel not lightheaded, but I feel a little bit lighter. And I don't know if you're feeling that same sensation, but you might. So just kind of checking in with that. Okay, so for now, we're going to come on to our bottoms. We're going to hold on to one shin. We're just going to gently roll down onto our backs. Good. We're going to gently rock side to side, massaging that low back. Good. We're going to take a nice big circle on the ceiling. We're going to take our circles in the other direction when we're ready. Good. Placing those feet back down onto the mat. We're going to realign all of those chakras, all those energy centers again by doing our bridge pose. Good. So getting in alignment, making sure those shoulders are away from the crown of the head or away from the ears. We're going to peel up that tailbone, lifting each vertebra up so that we're across the shoulder blades. Good. No pressure on the neck. And then slowly rolling back down. Follow your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. When I do this, I always think of like a really nice thick lotion or cream, and that I'm rubbing it into my spine, so it's just really soothing, so that everything feels nice and supple. I guess if you were a mechanic, you would think of it as greasing the joints or the gears. I'm more of a spa girl myself.
Good. And then on the next time that you're up, you can stay right here in bridge. You can also go into a chest expansion by bringing those shoulder